So President-elect Donald Trump went on Meet the Press, did an interview, and this young lady here asked him questions about his plans for deportation. And I'm glad Donald Trump does not have an issue with going on any platform and answering questions that are brought to him. No word salad, no beating around the bush, just telling it like it is or how he thinks. But let's get into it.
Let's talk about mass deportation, one of
Okay.
your
Look at
big
them
agenda
eyes. Damn.
items. You've talked about prioritizing people who have criminal histories.
Correct.
But is it your plan to deport everyone who is here illegally over the
She got
next
a
4
mouthful of teeth too.
years?
Well, I think you have to do it, and it's a very tough thing to do. It's but you have to have, you have rules, regulations, laws. They came in illegally. The people that have been treated very unfairly are the people that have been online for 10 years to come into the country. And we're going to make it very easy for people to come in terms of they have to pass a test. They have to be able to tell you what the Statue of Liberty is. They have to tell you a little bit about our country. They have to love our country. They can't come out of prisons. We don't want people that are in for murder. So we had 11,000 and 13,000 different estimates, 13,099 murderers released into our country over the last 3 years. They're walking down the streets. They're walking next to you and your family, and they're very dangerous.
The 13,000 figure, I think, goes back about 40 years.
No, it doesn't. No,
That
it's within the 3-year
13,000
period. It's
figure.
during the Biden term. No, that was a fiction that they put that out. This was done by the Border Patrol. It's 13,099, and it's during the Biden period of time. And these are murderers, many of whom murdered more than one person. You don't want those people in this country.
But you're saying something, sir, that's significant. I just want to make sure I'm clear, which is that you're saying, yes, you're going to focus on the people with criminal histories, but everyone who's here illegally has to go.
I'm
is what
saying
you're
this.
saying.
We have to get the criminals out of our country. We have to get people that were taken out of mental institutions and put them back into their mental institution, no matter what country it is. Do you know that Venezuela, their prisons are at the lowest point in terms of emptiness that they've ever been?
Just remember the movie Scarface. Said it before. The beginning of Scarface is exactly what Venezuela did these past few years, and that's releasing releasing criminals from their prisons and allow them to caravan all the way up to the United States. And our country accepted them. The Scarface movie was about Cubans, Fidel Castro, and how he was being forced to allow Cubans to come to America. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give you thousands of them. You want them, you can have them. And the next thing you know, not everybody, but the majority of people that he let come over here came out of the prisons. So this is the same thing.
They're taking their people out of those prisons by the thousands, and they're drunk. And just to get back, because I know exactly what you're getting at. Number one, we're doing criminals, and we're going to do them really rapidly. We're getting the worst gang probably with MS-13 and the Venezuelan gangs, are the worst in the world. They're vicious, violent people. And you see what they've done in Colorado and other places. They're literally taking over apartment complexes and doing it with impunity. They don't care. They just are, they're in the real estate business.
The local police say that is not the case in Colorado.
Oh, it's totally the case. I mean,
it is the case because I've seen stories on news stories where actual residents have talked about in police force, but they didn't want to go like in too much detail of making them look too bad. But yeah, it's happening in Aurora, California. I mean Colorado.
You don't believe the local police?
I used to play it at my rallies every single night. No, they're breaking into doors. They're taking over the building.
And it's on video. It don't matter if it's one, it don't matter if it's 2 or 3 gang members or if it's 200. They are terrorizing people. And you know what? And the sad thing is it's proximity, but they find their own and they terrorize them because they know, one, if they're there illegally, they're not going to call the police. If they're going to rob them, they're not going to go try to get in touch with law enforcement. So they feel they can blackmail them and extort them and terrorize them with impunity.
By the way, the
point.
police are afraid to do anything.
You raised the point that the logistics are complicated. You said it yourself. You would
but everything's complicated.
Yeah, you mean you need 24 times more ICE detention capacity just to deport 1 million people per year, not to mention more agents, more judges, more planes. Is it realistic to deport everyone?
Yeah, if you stop sending money to Ukraine and spending money to house these migrants and use that money to get them up out of here, you will have the money to deport. It would be realistic.
You have no choice. First of all, they're costing us a fortune. But we're starting with the criminals, and we got to do it.
I told you. Imagine, think about living at home, you're paying bills, you got you, your wife, your kids, your immediate family, and then one day your cousins show up or some family members show up with their own families, need somewhere to stay. And so you give them somewhere to lay their head, inconveniencing your family now, lay their head, they come in here and eat your food, use all, use all your good hot water, electricity, air conditioning, stay on 24/7. Bathroom being full all day, kitchen, refrigerator, open door, opening and closing all day. And none of them people are putting in money to help replenish or to fix anything in your house. So your expenses go up. So again, would it cost you more money to just say, hey, I'm going to buy y'all an Uber, get y'all to a hotel. Y'all, I'm going to get you a hotel where you can stay. I'll rent you a hotel out for a month. In a little, it ain't going to be great, but hell, you have your own little spot. We have our place back. Seen to a hotel, what is it, like almost $200 a week at the little extended stay. Send them to an extended stay for a month. That's all you get. Be gone. Yeah, it might cost you a pretty penny up front, but in the long run, because you never know when these people gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna save you money and headache and stress.
And then we're starting with others, and we're going to see how it goes.
Who are the others?
Others are other people outside of criminals. We have convicted murders. We don't mean people that are even on trial. We have people that have murdered numerous people are on our streets and in our farms, and we have to get them out of our country.
What about dreamers, sir? Dreamers who were brought to this country illegally as children. You said once back in 2017, they, quote, shouldn't be very worried about being deported. Should they be worried now?
The dreamers are going to come later, and we have to do something about the dreamers because these are people that have been brought here at a very young age, and many of these are.
He's answering. I want y'all to understand, because I know y'all waiting on this just like I am. He's answering the question that people have put out there on the extreme left, saying that he's going to deport the DACA. And the DACA people are just so terrified. I remember when, I want to say, 6 years ago, I remember when I worked with a nurse who was part of the DACA program, and no, she was worried back then. So this had to have been about 5 or 6 years ago. So I guess Biden was in office. No. Trump was in office. But she was so worried back then that she can get deported because of something to deal with paperwork and this, that, and the third. And she was a freaking nurse. Came in as a kid, went to school, got educated, everything, but was so concerned about being deported. I remember she was talking about trying to find somebody to marry, all this kind of stuff. But that's what, some of the people now that Trump has won the election, is going to be president. You got these people saying that, oh my God, he's gonna deport the DACA. And even I was thinking, like, I hadn't even heard him really answer like this, do an in-depth interview with answers. I said, well, he's already gonna, like, what are they gonna do? Try to deport the criminals first, get them out, and then whatever else falls, I'm sure he's gonna have a hierarchy or order he want to do, something to get rid of people, which should give those who've been here for a while, those who are working, should give them an opportunity to try to become legal citizens before he get to them, because a lot of them have been here for years, been here ever since, I think this girl said that she came in under Obama, the DACA, the Dreamer program. So they've been here forever. So why in the heck, in the 8 years of Obama and the 4 years of Biden, did the Democratic Party not concern themselves with making DACA recipients U.S. citizens? That's a question you need to ask. Instead of trying to make Donald Trump the boogeyman, you need to ask that the people that were in office 8, 9, 10, 12 of the last 16 years and running Congress, why did they not expedite DACA becoming U.S. citizens? If they would have done it, you wouldn't have to worry about the boogeyman.
Middle-aged people now, they don't even speak the language of their country. And yes, we're going to do something about the
What does
Dreamers.
that mean?
And
what are you going to do?
I will work with the Democrats on a plan, and if we can come up with a plan, but the Democrats have made it very, very difficult to do anything. Republicans are very open to the Dreamers. The Dreamers, we're talking many years ago, they were brought into this country, many years ago. Some of them are no longer young people. And in many cases, they become successful. They have great jobs. In some cases, they have small businesses. In some cases, they might have large businesses. And we're going to have to do something with them. And
you want them to be able to stay. That's what you're saying?
I do.
Okay.
I want to be able to work something out. And it should have been able to be worked out over the last 3 or 4 years. And it never got worked out. You know, Biden could have done it because he controlled, Congress to a certain extent, right? He could have done something, but they didn't do it. I never understood why, because they always seem to want to do it. But then when it comes down to it, they don't. I think we can work with the Democrats and work something out.
Let me ask you about another group of people, the estimated 4 million families in America who have mixed immigration status. So I'm talking about parents who might be here illegally, but the kids are here legally. Your borders are.
You're talking about separation.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are two aspects to this.
See that? He ain't playing no games. He ain't beating around the bush. He ain't waiting for her to say what she gonna say so he can finagle the answer. He said, just come. He basically said, just come straight out and say, you talking about separation, right? Don't bullcorn me.
Reporter Zara Tom Homan said they can be deported together. Correct. Is that the plan?
Well, that way you keep I don't want to be breaking up families. So the only way you don't break up the family is you keep them together, and you have to send them all back.
Even kids who are here legally?
Well, what you're going to do if they want to stay with the father? Look, we have to have rules and regulations. You can always find something out like, this doesn't work, that doesn't work. I'll tell you what's going to be horrible. When we take a wonderful young woman who's with a criminal, and they show the woman, and she could stay by the law, but they show the woman being taken out, or they want her out, and your cameras are focused on her as she's crying, as she's being taken out of our country, and then the public turns against us. But we have to do our job, and you have to have a series of standards and a series of laws. And in the end, look, our country is a mess.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated.
So think about it like this. I've seen stories where think about cold cases. And I know it's an extreme example, but you understand the context. Cold case, somebody deleted somebody 20, 30, 50 years ago. Well, let's keep it at 20 something years ago. And they never, the perpetrator's never been caught. New DNA, what they call it? No, DNA evidence. They can finally look at it. New technology allows it to where DNA evidence can be tested, blood evidence can be tested, and now you can look up DNA and see if you can find the person. And then they find the perpetrator. The perpetrator is arrested. They find out when he committed the crime or she committed the crime, they were 21. And now they're 50. 50 years old, been married 20 years, kids are grown, they got grandbabies, one kid about to graduate college, live a nice suburban life or just a middle class life or what have you. Dude ain't been in trouble ever in his life with the law. And so now he has to be punished for something he did a long time ago. Sometimes they may get, depending on the crime, they may not get a lot of time. Sometimes they may go away for 20 something years because of the crime. The point is, no matter what you've done, a man might be a pastor or a member of society, productive member of society, paying his taxes, part of the community, at the church and the youth program, all this kind of stuff. But his past caught up to him. And so as much as you hate it, he has to pay for his crimes. That's just life. That's just the law of life. Once he do that, then maybe he can come back and continue on with his life. But now things have to be disrupted because of something he did long time ago. If you came to this country illegally, you committed a crime. There's no two ways about it. No, you weren't caught. You come here, you work, you make a living, you work every day. Say you might, pay your taxes, pay your bills, get your kids through school, and then one day you get caught. And it's like, how'd you get here? When'd you get here? You're undocumented. Yeah, okay, you've been doing this, but we still got to turn you in because it's the law, because you committed a crime. Now, will you get deported? Who knows? Will you be able to stay? Who knows? But you have to take that chance. You got to be willing to take the chance because you took that chance when you came here. That's basically all that Donald Trump and the rest of American society is saying. Thanks to Joe Biden letting these people run amok and coming across this border with no repercussions, no nothing. They come here, can't be detained, can't be asked a question. Only thing that happen is, give them a cell phone, tell them to come to court 5 years from now. And you wonder why, one of the reasons why people didn't vote for Joe Biden. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's nothing complicated. And you hate to see it. You hate to see families broken up. But like he said, do you want to break the family up or do you want to keep the family together? What's more important? Because again, in the beginning, it was a crime. Was a story in the Bible? Dang, I want to say it was King Solomon. And the two women came, some woman, they come with a baby, both of them claiming the baby is theirs. And so King Solomon said, hey, tell you what, how about you cut the baby in half? And you take one half and the other woman take the other half. And one woman said, okay, that's fine. Whatever. But then you had one woman saying, no, let her take him because I don't want, she let her take him. I don't want to see the baby, killed for this. And Solomon said, okay, give her the baby. You can't take the baby. So everybody say, oh, that's a great, that's, King Solomon's wisdom is just infinite. But one of the parts you miss about that story is you had a woman who stole a baby. You had a woman who stole a baby. So somebody committed a crime. And so Solomon had to make a decision, make a judgment, and gave the baby to what perceived to be the right mother. So that's what you got to think. You got to think, do you want to split the baby in half or do you want to keep it together and let them go and let that baby go somewhere where you can't watch them or where, let them go somewhere that's not familiar, but they're still living, still got a chance. Or like I said, do you want to split the family in half? One stay here, one, because my thing is this here, if you really want your family to have a better life, you will better than where you came from, then you probably will say, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and leave. You stay here since you are a citizen. Because I doubt they retroact this whole citizenship thing that Donald Trump's talking about too. They're probably gonna, start it once they get in the office. So you stay here, continue, went to school, got all this, and they don't need to lose it. I made that sacrifice, they probably saying I made that sacrifice for you to do that. I'll go back to Mexico and try to find another way to the country I came from and try to find a way to get back. That's what, I would say a man would do, but who knows? Everybody don't think like that. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below, share it with the world. You know how we do. We had an intelligent conversation around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you nothing but maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here. If you want to support us financially, you can get super thanks, super chat, super stickers, or you can go to the description box below, click on links there to help support us there. Don't forget to go to marlonmorale.com where you can get 10% off your first purchase of all our luxury products. And if you want to take advantage of our miniature sandalwood beard kit, go to the shop button below and get a kit that has beard oil, beard balm, beard wash, and sandalwood scented. And sandalwood is clinically proven to help stimulate hair follicle growth. So if you're trying to get that beard to its full potential, why not use the best product on the market? And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace and I'll see you on the other side.